What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The Nets was able to obliterate and annihilate the Milwaukee Bucks for another game to go up 2-0 in the series. Absolutely no competition from the gate. The Bucks hit a couple of shots and then they just absolutely disappeared. They got a little confident in a little shots to go in the third quarter, but they couldn't get any stops to even make the game a real contest against the Brooklyn Nets. KD was getting to his spots, playing off the ball, just letting that thing fly throughout the entire game. Kyrie, they had no answers for him either. Was able to get anywhere where he wanted. The others stepped up. Cioza stepped up. Joe Harris hit a couple threes and some layups. Blake Griffin was good on the boards and finishing. And you can go on and on and on and on. They just look like the better team. They just look like a team that wants it more. They're getting blocks, they're getting steals, they're rotating, they're communicating, and they ultimately making some easy shots and they also making the tough shots. And that's just something that the Bucks haven't been able to do. The Bucks had a lot of open opportunities that they just flat out missed. Whether it was Drew Holiday again, Middleton again, or even Giannis just not being able to make a free throw besides one at one point, and then miss two more after that, which is just the worst. The Bucks are flopping. They look a lot better than the Heat. It looks like the Heat was just as bad as we thought they would be, and the Bucks just took advantage of it. Now they don't even look like a team that even knows what they're trying to do defensively. They don't even look like a team that they know what they're trying to do offensively. One minute they taking perimeter shots, one minute they just want to go to the paint, and one minute they can't even make a three to save their life, no matter who's shooting it. I told you guys Brent Forbes not going to get hot. The Nets have picked him up, have stayed in front of him, have made every three in the last two games tough, and he just been a negative for them. He's not really contributing at all. And DiVincenzo would at least gave them a guy that can drive, that can shoot threes, and that can defend multiple guys and let you be more switchable. But he's out for the series, and they're really missing him right now as a guard that can do multiple things while also being a solid defender at that position. PJ Tucker hasn't been the guy that they thought. He's been able to score every once in a while. Hasn't been the defender that they him to be. He did get some steals and some charges that gave them more opportunities, but it don't really matter when you can't put the ball in the basket. Giannis was able to get to the paint when he wanted to. And he did settle for a lot of mid-range shots and floaters, and they just didn't fall. He was able to shoot some threes, but we know that you rather have Giannis shooting threes than Giannis attacking the basket, and the Nets live with it. We're going to let Middleton take a lot of shots. He couldn't hit shots early, and the Nets was able to pile up a good lead, and he was able to get some shots to go. Him and Drew Holiday was able to hit a couple of jumpers in a row and some finishes, but by then it was already over as the Nets was able to continue to score. And if a team is ahead of you and you can't stop them, you're not even making ground, or you're just stuck because you can't get over the hump. And that's what the Bucks find themselves at. They look like one of the best defensive teams. They look like a team that can match up well against a team like the Nets. And even when they don't even have DeAndre Jordan and a small Claxton, the Nets have been able to defend them pretty well, and they have been able to be active defensively, getting a lot of steals and a lot of turnovers. And the Bucks seem like they haven't played with each other. A lot of bad passes, a lot of forced passes, and a lot of cop out passes where they get stuck or they can't dribble and they basically have to get the ball up. The Nets have been able to gobble up those steals. The Nets have been able to reach and get steals that turned into transition or just completely shut down the Bucks offensive, game. And they just look like a team that's a championship contender, and the Bucks honestly look like pretenders. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people had the Bucks pulling off the upset. It's unfortunate because a lot of people had the Bucks possibly having a chance to win the championship if they was able to get out of this series. but they still have a shot. It's 2-0. They get to go to Milwaukee, which I most likely will be at the game, and we get to see if the Bucks can turn it around. They got to start making their open shots. They have to come out the same way they did in the third quarter, in the first quarter, so that way they don't be digging and fighting the uphill battle just to get back in the game, just to have an opportunity to win. And they have to figure out what they're going to do defensively. They haven't been able to figure out how to guard any of these guys, and what they're helping and they're double teaming. The Nets are killing them from three, which we knew could happen. And they don't even have James Harden. The games haven't really even been competitive. A lot of these games have been over so early that it don't even look like the Bucks can even contend with the Nets. It just looks like the Nets are getting any shot they want, and they're making them. They're taking them. They're making them, whether they're easy or difficult. And the Bucks can't make anything, whether it's a floater, whether it's a layup, whether it's a free throw, whether it's a wide open practice shot three. The Bucks absolutely can't make nothing. And it has to be frustrating if you're a Bucks fan. It has to be frustrating if you're on the Bucks as a player. And Mike Budenholzer looked like he will be fired if they lose this series and the way they've been playing, because it looks like they're nowhere near where they need to be. They made the PJ Tucker trade. They made the Drew Holiday trade to be a serious team in the East. And if they go out in the second round for the second consecutive year, it just shows you that maybe Giannis is not that guy. Maybe he's not the superstar that can lead you to a championship. Maybe they had the right supporting cast around, or maybe he's just not good enough. Maybe Middleton needs to go because he continues to show up in some series, and some series he continues to flop and not play his best basketball. And he's doing it again so far against the Nets, even though he does have a couple more games to fix it and get it right. You don't want to be fighting down the 0-2 hole when Brooklyn has been able to be competitive even on the road, and they also have shown killer instinct when it is time to close series. And Kevin Durant and Kyrie has done that throughout their career, and so has some of these other veterans on this team. And Blake Griffin has looked amazing, being able to hit threes, being able to drive and attack the paint when guys are not paying attention to him, or everybody's focused on Kevin Durant and Kyrie when they got the ball in their hands. Joe Harris has lived up to the hype, been able to knock down threes and kill the Bucks for helping their double teaming or not paying attention to him in transition. And also, I got to say, Landry Shamet was able to hit a couple threes. He's been an okay, solid role player, but he hit a lot of threes that kept the Bucks away and was allowing them to keep it at 20 points, which is hard to overcome when you're trying to make a run and they continue to hit some big shots to keep you at a long, far away distance from getting a lead. So the Bucks have done a lot of things wrong. The Bucks have continually shot themselves in the foot early in the game, and they just gonna have to get off to a better start. They're just gonna have to hope Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton stay aggressive and shots just fall genuinely and normally. And if they don't, this series could be over a lot faster than what we thought. If anything, everybody was picking the Nets to lose this series to the Bucks, and they have looked like the superior team, and they have played well together even without James Harden. It's crazy that people thought they wouldn't win the championship without Harden, and they thought that Harden would most likely be the Finals MVP if they did win the championship. And now the Bucks, who have been favored by a lot of people, uh, can't even beat the Nets without Harden, and they've been obliterating them. So maybe the Bucks come out better at home. Maybe they feed off the crowd. Maybe they defend better, knowing that the team is getting rooted for. Maybe Giannis shoot free throws better at home because there ain't as much noise, not as much chaos. But the Bucks have so many problems right now defensively. The Bucks can't make a shot consistently offensively, and if Middleton and Holiday and these other guys can't step it up or even give them legitimate 3-point shooting when they're open, PJ Tucker was supposed to be a threat. Brent Ford was supposed to be a threat. Middleton was supposed to be shooting the ball better. Brook Lopez got to a good start for the last two games, but disappears consistently throughout the games, as he should, because he's not even supposed to be um, a big factor in this series, but he is tall and has size. But he was able to hit a couple threes. He was able to get a couple buckets in the paint. But it sucks when your other best players aren't stepping up, and you're first to rely on guys that haven't been able to do it throughout their careers to do it when it matters most, and they just haven't been able to get it done either. Other than that, let me know what you guys think. Is the Bucks overrated? Can the Bucks tie it up at home? Or is it done? Is it over? With or without Harden, the Nets should be able to win this in five. They should be able to sweep them. They should be able to win it in six. Now they only have to win two more games instead of three or four, and it puts pressure on the Bucks to come out better, smarter, more patient, and just knock down the easy opportunities that they had. And maybe they can win a close one, or maybe they can be able to hang a little bit more than they have been able to these first two games. But the Bucks have to change their complete mindset. They might have to change their starting lineup because that's not working, and they might have to rely on some role players to have big games if they plan to win a game in Milwaukee, and even if it wants the series to be evened up. That's what they're going to have to do. Other than that, let me know what I got right, what I got wrong, and let me know what you guys think at the end of the day. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, signing out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And let me know what the Bucks need to do, what the Nets need to continue to do. And let me know if you guys think this is over, as the Nets have shown to be the much better team so far in the series. Other than that, I'm gone.